Hi, for this video I want to talk about Beyond Two Souls. It's a game like I recently bought. Um, PlayStation exclusive. There's so many of these. PlayStation exclusive. It's similar to Detroit Becomes Human, and it's a cutscene heavy game, story heavy, story driven. You have quick time events, action buttons, and all that. But it's story, cutscene heavy. Like, share, subscribe, share it all over, guys. Like all over Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. A comment for feedback. Thank you to my new subscribers. So yeah, Beyond Two Souls. It's a unique game. It's kind of, if you guys like science fiction and like kind of like the mind and the mind brain mystery, you will like this game. It's science fiction heavy. You play there's this girl. She has a telekinetic ability. Telekinesis is the ability to like move things like objects without even touching them with your mind or through a soul or through a spiritual force. Through her, it's a second soul. The second soul is able to move objects, right? So milk crates and pens, pencils, anything in the, even cars is like it can flip over cars with her mind. It's pretty cool. And she had the power from even like when she was little, like a very little, but she didn't really know how to control it. It's like a second spirit. She has this. It's like a second spirit. So the spirit has a mind of its own sometime. But you as a player get to you get to control the spirit. And as far as I know, based on what I played so far, you're the only person with this ability like in the game. It takes place in modern times, and everybody else is like a regular human. So you're the only one with this ability. Uh, you know, Disability and a tongue twister here. You're the only person with the spiritual ability, and sometimes like when she's young, she doesn't really quite understand it. She doesn't really quite understand what this thing is, and through they're doing research on her to try and understand. There's early on in the game, she's able to. There's like this wall. She's sitting down with these cards, right? These kind of psychology type, shapes or whatever, and to access the mind. So she's sitting down like in one room. There's a barrier blocking the other room. There's a lady like in the other room. She has cards, and they ask her, "Can you see what this lady is doing? Like which card this lady picked?" And she picked out exactly the same. She's able to see through the spirit which card the lady picked. So they're doing experiments on her early on, and the thing but it kind of goes out of control. It'll lock doors, and not even you as a player do this. The spirit will lock doors on its own. So the lady got locked out of the room. No, trapped in the room, and they're yelling at the girl, "Jody, stop, stop, Jody, stop." So that's the girl's name that you play as. But Aiden, the spirit, you didn't even do it as a player. You didn't even do it. So that's a very interesting mechanic, concept, idea. So it's able to lock doors on its own or windows. Now the sequences, they're kind of weird. They go from a one point in her life to another point to another point. It kind of jumps all over the place, like different points, right? So from when she's like 9 years old to when she's 25 to when she's 30 to when she's a teens, back to when she's 10 years old or 5 years old. So it goes from different, each sequence. There's a different, stage or a scenario that she has to go through. And I would have liked it if it was more chronological, because she does join the military in like CIA later on, and it's like, how did this happen? Since when did this happen? So there's not a lot of early on. You don't really get a lot of backstory as to what's happening, but you kind of get the idea through the cutscene. She's joined the military. There's one where she's on a secret agent mission in Dubai, right? So where she has to gather these documents, but she can just use the spirit. So they know she has the ability, so they're using her to get like extra knowledge and intelligence and intel. Now she's highly skilled because of her military training, right? She is, like a martial arts. So, she increases her stamina through this military training. That's one sequence. There's another sequence where she has to run away from the police because the police are after her. So there's all these different. It kind of skips through time. There's different timelines, right? It's not chronological. No, it's basically weird in that you hold the right stick as an action button. The right stick is the action button, not the left stick. It's kind of confusing. This got me confused and messed up. I thought they would do a circle or square as the action button. It is confusing. No, you do use the right stick for for that, and L1 and the right stick to do like telekinetic abilities to move objects. Let me just quickly, like, for this a quick moment here, like, show. I always like it, like, when games do this, they'll have a dual cover. So it's not just one cover. See, that's one, where there's a moment in the game where she uses the ability to, cause chaos or whatever, where she has to escape something. So yeah, this dual cover. That's the other cover. So yeah, but same company, again, quickly. Same company that made Detroit Becomes Human made this game. So yeah, going back to it now. Now you're using right stick for the action button, L1, and right stick for telekinetic events, right? Well, no. Through that as well, the controls are annoying. They are annoying. They take a while to get used to. Hold X for one of those quick time events, or hold triangle. X triangle. Square, hold square, tap X. Tap X out as fast as you can. So they have all that. And I don't know why the game default it is 4-3, a 4-3 ratio, like, on the screen. So the screen, you're not seeing the full screen. Or it's what's the other one again? I can't remember the other one. So there's black bars on the screen, and that's probably the default. The game in its default mode, but I have to change that. Now again, sequences, cutscene heavy, controls. Similar to Detroit Becomes Human, if you guys played that, and decisions. So choices in the game. There's a mission where there's a sequence where you can choose to be more sociable or more withdrawn, right? So you can choose to, she's a teenager going to this party, and you can choose, right? Different approaches. I chose first to be more sociable. Or you can go back and choose the opposite, be more antisocial, and see how it turns out. And it does turn out differently with the choices. That's the main thing. The decisions, the cutscenes, and the outcome will turn out differently. But certain things are written in stone, so you can't change certain things. The developers made certain most of the cutscenes are set in stone. It's just the outcomes can be different depending on the choices that you make. No, it's not as decision making as Detroit Becomes Human. But if you do fail certain QTE events, you will be trapped. There will be more barriers for you to get past, and you got to be smart, like, with the QTE events and with certain choices you make, right? I use your common sense, or you can be curious and see what happens if I mess up here, and will I be a setback, or the checkpoints are really, really, really good, right? So if you fail one part, like, there's one part where I believe she drowns or whatever by mistake, or like, and the police catches up to her. So if you do fail, the checkpoint system is very good. It will just set you back to that exact checkpoint. Sorry about the camera here. So yeah, Beyond Two Souls, PlayStation exclusive. It's a good thing I have a retro game store nearby, where if you a game as a Terra, it says they sell like classic games, like classic PS1, PS2, PS3, PSP, so on, and PS4 games as well. So yeah, GameCube. So with these game stores, because you obviously can't buy these old games in GameStop anymore. The PlayStation 3 is discontinued. Well, not discontinued. They don't make games for it anymore, obviously. And PS4 pretty soon is going to be like that for PS4 in 2 to 3 years, right? So it's good to. That's why I hold on to my old consoles, so I can replay or play these games for the first time. Some more games I plan to get: Ninja Gaiden, maybe even Fallout, Final Fantasy, Medal of Honor. I don't know. Like, there's other games out there. There's a game called Mag. I'm not sure how good it is. There's a game I recently got, Wheelman. So all these different games. That's why I keep my old consoles. So Beyond Two Souls, and if you guys don't like cutscene heavy games or story heavy games, you're not gonna like this. You're stuck in. It's mostly cutscenes. It's just cutscenes, mostly, or what you're seeing. The action scenes are pretty cool in between. The in between scenes of QTEs and actions, it does add to it, and choices to be made. And the fact that most of the cutscenes are set in stone, right? They are set in stone, and keep in mind you are the only one. Like, the interesting thing about it is that Quantic Dreams, you're playing with superpowers. Like, you have superpowers, and nobody else has superpowers except you. So you get to really be this person, and with this alternate perspective. And obviously, some people are not gonna accept, the fact that like you have powers, because you're very powerful, and the soul does have a mind of its own, right? And a very interesting thing again with it locking doors. Not even you as a player did it. It did it itself. So yeah. So if you like sci-fi, science fiction, or the cognitive or the mind brain type of philosophy, you like this game. Like, share, subscribe, guys. Share the video all over. Thanks for watching.